to everyone. Our series of book discussion continues. In fact, I would say this episode of book discussion has now gone perennial. And in that sequence, today, we are going to discuss here today the book titled Testing and Evaluation of Civil Engineering Materials, which is jointly authored by Dr. Sandeep Chaudhary, professor at IIT Indore. Sir is very much here. Dr. Kashyap A. Patel, Assistant Professor at SVNIT Surat, and reviewed by Dr. Sahil Bansal, Assistant Professor at IIT Delhi. So all esteemed academicians who have contributed in authoring and reviewing the book are very much present here amongst us. And this book discussion is being promoted and encouraged with great enthusiasm from all nooks and corners. So a big thank to all those who are constantly patronizing and promoting and encouraging us to continue this discussion for the sake of better understanding of the stakeholders, especially the students. So to begin formally the discussion today, I would request respected Dr. Amit Kumar Srivastava, Director Faculty Development Cell, for welcome address, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tiwari. It's my honor and privilege to welcome Professor Sandeep Chaudhary, sir, from IIT Indore, who is the author of the book Testing and Evaluation of Civil Engineering Materials, along with Dr. Kashyap A. Patel from SVNIT Surat, Gujarat. We also welcome the reviewer of the book, Dr. Sahil Bansal from IIT Delhi, along with the faculty members and the students who are part of this webinar, who are participating through WebEx, along with the YouTube channel of AICT also. In brief, I just want to inform our stakeholders about the intervention of the technical book writing initiated by the AICT. So we have started in 21-22 with there are 20 books in the first year, and there are huge tasks before us. There are 88 books, 46 of the diploma and 42 of the degree for the second year. And it's my, we are very much happy and to share with all of you that around 30 books of the second year has been uploaded on the eCombo portal, which is freely downloaded for the faculty members and the student and other stakeholders also. This particular initiative has generated lots of interest, not only in India, but at the same time, we have large number of international audience in terms of the faculty members and the students from number of different countries. Recently, Honorable Chairman AICT has took a major decision of making all these resources as an open education resources. So it is based upon the Creative Commons licenses. So wherever across the world, the faculty members, not only in India. So in different parts of India, they may use freely download it and use it for their purpose, for the class notes and the other purposes also. So with the intervention of such a initiative, recently we have just downloaded the data from where our books are accessible. So there are 47 countries across the world, from Iceland to USA, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, most of the African countries. So large number of the different stakeholders are accessing our books, which are uploaded on the eCombo portal. In brief, this portal was launched by the Honorable President of India in November 2022, and I have just checked around more than 5 lakh visitors in just a short span of 2 months period time. They have accessed this portal, and more than 1 lakh books has been downloaded from this portal. So I request all the faculty members and the students who are part of this webinar to kindly popularize these books, because these are the very unique books based upon the outcome-based education model of as envisaged in the National Education Policy 2020. Today book is also uploaded recently around 8 to 10 days back, and received a very good response. There are 277 downloads so far. So I request all the stakeholders to kindly popularize and also use all these books in the study during the study in the course delivery curriculum at your institute level. Over a period of time, we are focusing hard to make the translated version of these books in 12 Indian language in the next 6 months. from Bengali, Marathi, Hindi, Odia, Tamil, Telugu. So in all these languages, these books will be available. So it will facilitate a lot to our students and the faculty members to understand the concept in their own mother tongue also. So with this, I again welcome all the three distinguished academicians in the today webinar. Today, based upon the theme of the book discussion for the book testing and evaluation of the civil engineering materials. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for letting us know the initiatives taken so far and our constant endeavor to make the books accessible, available, in fact, to the stakeholders by uploading them constantly. Soon they are available with us. The PDF is immediately uploaded onto the eCoom portal for the sake of availability of all stakeholders. So moving ahead, I would now request wherein we will be learning from the esteemed academicians, in fact, the authors, about the features of the book. I would request Dr. Sandeep Chaudhary, sir, who is professor at IIT Indore, Madhya Pradesh, along with Dr. Kashyap A. Patel, assistant professor, SVNIT, to kindly present the salient features of the book in question today, that is testing and evaluation of civil engineering.
So thank you, Vyasta sir. Thank you, Tiwari sir. And I'll start with the thanks and gratitude to Dr. Bansal also, because he was instrumental in reviewing the book and he gave very nice suggestions. So just we'll begin with a small presentation, I think, so that we can start the discussion, just to put a platform for the discussion. So let me share that. Understand the screen is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the book is about testing and evaluation of civil engineering materials and basically pertains to second year of civil engineering. And of course, there has been a dearth of books in this particular area, because you may say that it has been sort of a neglected area. There are hardly any books available as compared to other conventional engineering subjects. So we thought of taking up this challenge. And the objective of this course as such is, as prescribed by IAS, is to deal with an experimental determination and evaluation of mechanical characteristics and advanced behavior of metallic and non-metallic structural materials. Of course, the materials are mostly related to civil engineering. And the main goal, of course, is to provide students with all information, including way of measurement, practical applications. So, like measurement of behavior of various materials used in civil engineering, physical observations, complement whatever concepts have been learned, to introduce experimental procedures, common measurements, and then exposure to variety of established material testing procedures, different methods of evaluation and inferences. The course also reviews the current testing technology and examines force applications, force measurements, strain measurement, instruments, etc. So this provides an introductory treatment of basic skills in material engineering, so that one can be capable of selecting a material, or rather appropriate optimized material for a particular design. And one can evaluate the mechanical and structural properties of material, as well as whatever knowledge is necessary for a civil engineer. So in a way, this lays a good foundation for the analysis and design of various civil engineering structures, because we know that for analysis also and for design also, we do require the basic properties of the materials. At times we tend to just take them lightly or simply, but as such they are very important and they may have a huge impact on the analysis and design. So this forms a sort of foundation for the analysis and design. And we do expect that at the end of the course and after going through the textbook, the students will be able to learn about whatever different materials are used in civil engineering application. They can plan their own experimental program to select test configuration and test material. They can document the experimental program, and they can operate the laboratory equipment, because this is another area where the students of civil engineering do lack when they go to the site. Most of them have not operated the laboratory equipments by themselves, or they are unaware of the handling of the laboratory equipments. And the student should be able to measure physical properties also, interpret the laboratory data. Also, at times, we do teach like this only, that a material is to be tested and a final strength is to be evaluated, and that's all. But ideally, one should understand what are the different modes of failure, whether it's failing in compression, tension, and shear, and then within that also, what is the mode of failure. Then observe different material behaviors under similar loading condition. So the course as such is named Material Testing Evaluation, and it's like LTP structure is 112. So this is a sort of a typical course in engineering curriculum where along with lecture, practical is also assigned. So as such, it has been divided in 3 modules basically. Like first module consists of an introduction to different materials like cement, sand, concrete, different types of concrete, ceramics, refractories, and all other materials. Module 2 talks about material testing. So like what is material engineering? How do we test that? Different types of tests, different types of failures, that is taken up in material 2, module 2. And module 3 talks about standard testing and evaluation procedures. Of course, when we were writing the book, Dr. Bansal suggested, and it was rightly pointed out, that actually module 1 is too heavy and we need to divide this module 1 in basically 2 modules. So finally, the textbook has been written in such a manner that there are 4 modules now instead of 3 modules, where first 2 modules are basically from module 1 only. And this, of course, complies with the outcome-based education. So I will skip this part because this is common for all the programs, outcome-based education. Of course, this is important at the end of the course, and after going through the textbook, one will be able to learn how to calibrate electronic sensors, how to use electronic sensors, how to operate a data acquisition system, various types of testing machines, how to configure a testing machine, compute engineering values, analyze stress and curves, to identify different modes of failure, and how to write a technical laboratory report. So this is what we do expect after going through the course and this textbook. And of course, this is CO PO mapping, which we do understand has been prescribed by mostly ACT only. So these are different course outcomes, and they are more or less related strongly to program outcomes also. So like in some, there is a very strong correlation. So that also is very important. Coming to the main point, the features is that this book has 4 units instead of the 3 units as prescribed by ACT. So we thank ACT for giving us this liberty to write the textbook as per our own convenience. So unit 1 and unit 2, they pertain mostly to the module 1. Unit 3 is about introduction to the material testing, and unit 4 talks about standard testing and evaluation procedure. Of course, we have gone a bit far in writing the textbook, that we have taken up some of the materials actually which are not part of a standard textbook, but we thought that it's important to have those materials which might have been left at that point of time when the syllabus was written down or when the syllabus was finalized. So we have introduced some such material. We've summarized each unit at the end and given multiple choice questions along with the answers. And the short and long answer type questions are also given. Numerical problems are also provided for further understanding the application. At the end of each unit, a no more section has been given for further exploration of different terminologies, technologies, applications, etc. And finally, a list of reference has been given, suggested reading so that one can read more, because we do understand that this is a quite voluminous subject and we cannot like write it down in 300, 400 pages, and one should have a habit to go for other readings also. So we have given links to the suggested reading or references to them. And a dynamic QR code has also been provided, which helps, which will keep on updating so that it will help the students to learn more. So this is just a basic about the book, and I think Dr. Bansal may add more to that, and then we may start the discussions.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for your presentations. Now I requested Dr. Kashyap. Dr. Kashyap Patel will speak something about the book, sir.
No, I think Dr. Bansal can, I have discussed with
Okay. So I request Dr. Sahil Bansal, who is the reviewer of the book, to kindly say details about this particular book and how this book is going to be useful to our students and the faculty members also.
Thank you very much, sir. So first, I should congratulate Professor Chaudhary and Professor Kashyap for coming up with this wonderful textbook. So frankly speaking, I did not have to do a lot of work because the first draft that I received was very well written. So all I had to do was rearrange some of the text and do some minor changes here and there. And coming to the textbook, I feel it will be very helpful both for the students and the faculty who are working in the domain of civil engineering, not just in academia, but in industry also. So the book is not as rigorous as any textbook on mechanics of materials or material theory, but it maintains a balance between the subjects, mechanics of material, material theory, and the practical applications of these concepts. So, and the second thing is, so the procedures for most of the experiments are provided there in the textbook, so that will be helpful. So most of the times we found that the students do not go to the standard codes published by the BIS. So I think that will be very helpful because the procedures and other minor details that are usually skipped in the labs are there in this book. Yeah, so with this, I will once again congratulate both the professors for coming up with this book.
Yeah, thanks, Professor Bansal. I think because your suggestions were quite important, and in fact, they were quite thought provoking. And I think we'll put it to AICT also sometimes because you rightly pointed out. I think syllabus also needs a bit of revision.
Yes, that's quite right.
So,
And
So-
if I may, I would also draw the attention to the virtual labs project by Ministry of Education. So in those labs, we are providing simulations to all the experiments that we have discussed in this book. So if we can combine both the projects, that will be a wonderful help to the students, those who don't have access to the labs.
Sir, thank you, sir. Basically, sir, our the students would like to know something more about the various areas covered in this book and how, I mean, because whole of the books has been written on the based of the outcome-based education. So how it is different from the textbooks already available in the market, and how these textbooks are going to add their knowledge on a more comprehensive way.
As such, if you ask, one is like it is more oriented from like say civil engineering point of view. So mostly, if we talk about the books which are available on the materials, even from foreign authors or whatever, they take from a general perspective, and at times accept like there are two categories of books. One is for civil engineering. So if there are some books which are pertaining to civil engineering, then they just cater to some basic, you can say, materials only, like you can say cement and then this brick and concrete and all other things. But like if you see like the books which are general books, then the general books, they are more tending towards mechanical or material engineering sciences side, where they do talk about more about the structure of the material. But here, like this book as such, if you define it, it is focused from the testing point of view. How do we test a material, and what is required for that? So it takes from the scratch and it develops a bit of understanding, not more, not less, whatever is required for testing of the materials, which we do require in civil engineering, and the bare minimum sort of understanding what is required for evaluating the behavior or defining the behavior. That level of things have been provided. And of course, like the latest materials which are now being coming in civil engineering and which will be part of civil engineering down the line. So such type of materials have also been considered in this book, going beyond the syllabus also. So what we do understand is that it will at least like for next 5, 7, 10 years, I think it will serve the purpose. So taking a futuristic approach. And the USP is that those integrities of testing, which I think hardly any book gives, with due respect to all the books which are available in the market, but those nitty-gritties, how do we test, what should be the rate of loading, how do we evaluate the behavior from civil engineering point of view. I think that was a missing link which has been filled by this. That is our perception. But once maybe the students will go through that, the faculty members, they will go through that. Maybe they will come up, they can come up with more ideas, more improvements, which may be in the next edition. So this is how it is a little bit different than the conventional books which are available.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Actually, there is a one feedback option in the
Yes.
AICD website, Ecombe website also.
Yes.
So I request all of you, if you have any suggestions on the feedbacks for the improvement, definitely you are most welcome to submit your feedbacks in the Ecombe website. So there is a one query from Sri Manoj. Is equipment calibration procedure included in the book?
As such, yes, that has been rightly pointed out. I think we missed it. We just talked about that it should be, but yes, maybe next time we can include the details of that. Details of this. Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. Dr. Bansal, you are talking about the virtual lab. So could you please inform our the viewers basically whether it's available in the public domain or how they are going to access it basically?
So it's available in the public domain. So one can just Google virtual lab, and I think the whole page will come on the first link. So whatever tests we are discussing in this book, most of the tests are available on the virtual lab project. So there, the theory is not discussed. The theory is there in the book, but the procedure is demonstrated by simulations. So those are interactive simulations. So student can enter the values, move the materials, and see how the failure patterns will be. Right. So it's a very basic stuff, but it will be very helpful to someone who does not have access to the lab.
Okay, sir. I request the participant, if you have any query, please just click on the hand sign so that we can unmute you from our end, or you just write on the chat box, please.
Shrivastava, there is one question from some student in the chat box.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a question from Mr. K. Sekhar. Is a thermal testing of concrete or any other material, is it included in the book?
Thermal testing is as such, I think at this level, second year level, it's difficult because even if you'll include that, then explain the procedure might be difficult. So that's why it has not been included as such by testing. Then it depends like on the authorities prescribing the syllabus. But because the understanding might be difficult here. Only thing is the critical temperatures have been explained, but those testing procedure maybe, but I personally I feel that at second year level it may be a bit of difficulty in understanding the thermal behavior.
Okay, sir. Sir, Professor Dr. Satish Kumar Sharma, sir, we have unmuted you. So you are requested.
Yeah.
Professor Chaudhary, I'm Dr. S.K. Sharma from Acropolis Institute, Indore.
Okay.
I heard your wonderful presentation. I just have a small query. Nowadays, we have X-ray diffraction and scanning electron microscopy also. Do you have some content of that sort in your book? If
Uh,
not there, kindly include in future revisions.
uh, I think it can be, but again, then they're like part of advanced material testing. And the problem here, what we faced, like Professor Bansal will also agree with that, because it was going beyond the pages and prescribed limits. But yes, of course, like you might have heard my lectures also, because you happen to be from Indore. So I have been telling a lot about this or talking a lot about XRD and that, but maybe if AICT will permit or like allow like some say elective course on that. I understand that there has to be a separate elective course on that for advanced concrete technology or advanced material testing. Because right now it may not do justice, because at one end we are talking about very basic stuff and just giving concrete so much importance. So that is the problem. Else, yes, surely it can be. Maybe in another book on advanced material testing.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, there is one more query from Dr. Alvin Vaxi. Is it durability test of concrete included in this book?
No, because it is like more on mechanical tests only. So the durability tests have not been considered. Only thing they have been mentioned briefly, but not in that manner how to do that, and procedures are not given, but they have been mentioned so that one gets a feel and one can sort of, if one wants to do, he or she can do, but not given in detail. Again, it comes back like as earlier question was also there. For all these, we need to go to the microstructure of concrete and all that. Else, it is just like sort of giving a glimpse only. Complete understanding, actually, we need to start from the microstructure. But yes, some basics are given so that one knows that these are the tests which can be performed.
Thank you, sir. Any other query from the participant? If you have any query, just write in the chat box or raise your hand.
I think Sir Arvind Kumar has asked how it is different from existing books. So this is what like has already been discussed. But just to again reiterate, this is the book which focuses on the testing and which develops understanding for the testing. So there are books available in the market, but either they focus on the testing only without giving a background, or they just give a sort of detailing of the material properties. So it focuses on the testing, making a ground for that through by giving some basic idea of the materials. So from the perspective of the testing, so that one is able to understand the behavior finally from the testing. It's not because the conventional testing books, they are sort of manuals, laboratory manuals. How do we test? Just steps and procedures. It's not about the just steps and procedure. What is the background behind that? What is the foundation behind that? That has been explained, which we think is makes it quite different from other books.
Thank you,
One
sir.
more query is about if all 9 laboratories are covered into all physical 9 laboratories are
All?
covered.
Not
There is a query from Dr. C. Ravi Kumar Reddy. Basically, we have about 9 physical laboratories in civil engineering.
no. This doesn't cover this. This covers materials only.
Okay.
No, not all. It's
Today's session is one of the most interactive sessions. So large number of queries are coming. So any other participant have any query, please raise your hand so that we can unmute you, or you may write in the chat box also. So we again request, if any participant has any query, please raise your hand or write in the chat box, please. Okay, otherwise, sir, email is there along with the reviewers also in the book itself. So if you have any further query, you may directly write to sir for further clarification, or your suggestions also related to the book to AICT also. So now over to Dr. Tiwari.
Thank you, sir. Really very interesting session. Detailed discussion, in fact, onto the contents of the book, whatsoever is available. and some good suggestions also. And one I could see very well acknowledged also by our esteemed author. So with thanks to our esteemed academicians for today, I would request my colleague, Dr. Sanjay Das, for a presenting formal vote of thanks, please.
Thank you, Tiwari. It's indeed a great session today and highly interesting. And the participants have participated. A lot of queries poured in, and every queries have been answered to the satisfaction of each participant. So this subject itself has various dimensions, as Professor Sandeep sir has said. And most interestingly, the USP of this book is more towards like civil engineering, as I perceive from the discussion, rather mechanics or structural perspective. So we are highly thankful today for today's discussion. Professor Sandeep Chaudhary sir from IIT Indore and Dr. Kashyap Patel, Assistant Professor from NIT Surat, and also reviewer of the book, Dr. Sahil Bansal, Assistant Professor from IIT Delhi, to come out with this beautiful, interesting book, which is subject book is not so many available in the market as of date. And we are also thankful to the participants who have been with us throughout the discussion part. And last but not least, the technical support provided by our team, Ms. Jania. Thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.